What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Astral K, and you know what? Today, just kind of woke up a bit. Right now, get a bit of sunlight. You get what I mean? You know what? It's just kind of mad being a spiritual person. I don't really sun gaze, and that's just because I just need to start getting onto that shit, man. You know what I mean? Sun's looking nice, man. Outside still a bit chilly. You know what I mean? But today, so my last video I dropped, it was about astral projection. It was my experience of astral projection. Now, in this video, I'm going to basically explain how to astral project. Now, should you do it or should you not do it? I'm not going to say whether you should or should not, but I will say this. I said it in my last video. It's nothing that you should be scared of. Like, it's all natural stuff, like astral projection and the astral body leaving the physical. It's all normal things. You know what I mean? So how to astral project? So before you astral project, there are certain things that you kind of have to start doing already. All right. Number one, meditation. Meditation is kind of the gateway to astral projection. All right. So if you're someone that is just seen on YouTube or just watching this video and it's like, all right, cool, no, it don't work like that. Astral projection, it takes time, it takes practice, and it's just something that you just can't do just like that. Okay. Number two, you have to have no fear. All right. I'm being dead ass serious, because the thing is that people, you see, before I was astral projection, I used to go on the internet and I used to see people saying, oh, don't astral project, and you could leave your body but not be able to go back into your body. If you astral project, you could die or shit like that. Now, I'm not saying that what they're saying is wrong, because at the end of the day, there's two sides of the story. You have people that say those type of things, but then you have people saying that when they've astral projected, they've met with their spirit guides, they met with them ancestors, they met with all them good positive vibrations. So, but what you have to understand is that whether it could be true or not, if you kind of think that in terms of, oh my God, I could die or something like that, first of all, you haven't even tried it for yourself yet. So no matter what you see, you have to understand other people's experiences, all right? It won't be your experience. I mean, think about it. If someone has an experience about something, you're not going to have the same experience. You know what I mean? If I do something and it makes me feel a certain way, it doesn't mean it's going to make you feel like that, Because when you see the bad things about astral projection, it's going to put you into this like kind of mind state of fear, and you're not going to be able to do it properly. Okay, because because when you're meditating, you're gonna be thinking, oh, what if I could die, or like all this bad shit. I always ask this question, but why does everything have to be bad, man? Why does everything have to be bad? Why can't it be a thing where, some people, like, if you go and astral project, you could, like, positive things, you get me? Bro, man, as I said this before, fear will preserve the order of things. So don't be in that state of fear if you want to astral project. So how to astral project? So let's say, right, you meditate regularly, got a good free mind's open, have no fear whatsoever. You kind of just, you're kind of on your own journey. You figure some things out, like me. So this is what you're gonna do when you astral project. Now, when I say in terms of how to, I'm saying it based on how, like, my experience and how I truly feel. Because somebody could watch this video and he could be like, well, no, when I astral projected, I did it a different way. It's all different for people, but this is basically my experience and just explaining so you can be able to astral project. So cool. So number one, I suggest that if you want to astral project, you should do it when you're awake. Don't do it when you feel tired, because it's a good chance you will fall asleep. And when you get into that deep state of meditation, you could fall asleep, okay? Fall asleep. I've heard some other things as well about when people fall asleep and they astral project and they get stuck on the fourth plane or something like that. I don't really know if it's true or not. I don't really believe it. I have to see it for myself. So number one, I suggest you do it when you're awake, midday, okay? Now, Another thing is, I suggest that you try to kind of astral project on an empty stomach, because I notice that when I meditate on an empty stomach, I feel like the energy just flows throughout my body a bit better. And I'm assuming this is because I just have nothing in my stomach. So now if you have a full meal and you try to astral project, I'm not saying that it won't work, but for me, I feel like when I just have an empty stomach, you know, breath flow is easier, it's just better. So yeah, all right, cool. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to lay down, your back's on the bed, and kind of like you're meditating. All right, so kind of meditate. Now, the objective of astral projection, people that shit, the objective of astral projection is that your physical body, all right, falls asleep, all right, but your mind is still awake. So when you're meditating, you want to keep your mind awake, all right? Now, the way I do this, all right, is that because I've done this so much times and I've never astral projected, but I've kind of got into this stage where I kind of feel like my astral body moving around. It's like I'm meditating and I'm moving around, but my body is not moving. Okay, it feels like, do you know what it feels like? It feels like you in a sleeping bag, yeah? You're in a sleeping bag and you're moving around in the sleeping bag. The sleeping bag represents your physical body, and you in the sleeping bag represents your soul, your astral body. You're moving around, but obviously you haven't escaped. So, sorry, flip. What did I say? So yeah, so basically you're gonna want to lay down and you're just gonna want to meditate, and you're gonna kind of want to keep your mind awake while your body is asleep. Now, another thing which is hard, for your body to be asleep, you can't interfere with your body when you're meditating. What I mean by this is that, and let's say you be meditating and you feel like you have to itch your arm or itch your leg, don't do that, because if you move your physical body, well, then it's still awake, right? It's still awake. You have to ignore it. There'll be some times even when I'll be meditating and, you know, I'll be like, you know, I want to itch my foot, and sometimes it's just, you just have to just kind of just ignore it, all right? Don't even focus on it. Try not to focus on it. Now, you want to meditate to the point where you go into a numb state. Now, the numb state is when your body's just numb, okay? Your body's numb, you don't really feel anything, it just feels numb, all right? This is when you get into like a very deep state. Now, when you're in this kind of numb state, okay, when you're in this kind of, this euphoric kind of state, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to try to move around without actually moving your body, your physical body. So it's like, it's kind of like a paradox, but you just want to move around without you actually moving around. So you want to move around, and you want to try and move around without actually. So it's like, for example, it's like you want to try and lift your arm up without actually trying to lift your arm up. So it's like, for example, you see now, here's my hand, yeah? I'm trying to move my hand without actually moving the hand. Now, when you're in that numb state, it's a lot more easier because you won't really be feeling the feeling of your body. Now, when you do this, you're gonna want to try and move around. You want to try and move around and stuff. Now, I've done this so many times now. I've only had one astral projection experience, okay? Now, another thing I want to explain as well. So, now, when you meditate, some of you might experience this, but you might kind of feel like your body tingles randomly. And I believe that's your chi energy. It's a chi energy within you.